What if what God has joined together is not talking about romance at all? What if there is one Greek word in that verse that changes marriage from a love story into a mission? And once you see it, you will understand why so many couples stay together, stay busy, stay committed, and still feel like they are missing the thing marriage was built for. What God has joined together, let no man separate. That verse gets quoted anytime people talk about divorce. Do not separate. Do not tear it apart. Do not walk away. But the real shock is not in the warning. It is in the word joined. Because the word Jesus used is syzygnemi. And syzygnemi is not soft language. It does not mean casually united. It does not mean emotionally connected. It does not mean two people who happen to belong together. It means yoked together, harnessed together, bound under one burden for one direction for one work. That changes the whole verse. Jesus was not only saying, do not split this marriage. He was saying, do not rip apart what God has harnessed for his purpose. And once you see the image, it gets heavier. When two animals were yoked, they stopped functioning like two separate lives. They became one working unit. One pace, one pull, one field, one direction. And if one drifted, both lost alignment. If one resisted, both lost force. If one stopped pulling, the ground stopped breaking. That is what the yoke means. Not closeness without movement. Not togetherness without direction. Not romance without assignment. The yoke was never about comfort. It was about shared force. That is why marriage feels heavy when two people love each other but pull toward different things. Because the problem is not always that the marriage is broken. Sometimes the yoke is intact, but the direction is gone. And that is why so many couples feel the weight without the fruit. They live together, sleep in the same house, raise the same children, handle the same bills, sit in the same church, post the same pictures, but inwardly they are pulling at different angles. Parallel lives under one roof, same barn. No broken ground. That is not what Jesus described. Because syzygnemi is not two people standing near each other. It is two people bent for the same field. That means marriage is not just about staying in love. It is about staying aligned, not merely protecting affection, protecting direction. Not merely asking, how do we keep this alive? But asking, what has God harnessed us to carry together? What are you breaking together? What are you building together? What are you advancing toward together? Because when a marriage loses shared purpose, the yoke starts feeling like strain instead of strength. And when that happens, people start misdiagnosing the problem. They think the issue is emotion, or communication, or chemistry. But sometimes the emptiness is deeper than that. Sometimes it is the pain of being joined for something weighty and never stepping into it. You were not joined just to survive life side by side. You were joined to move something, to carry something, to break ground that neither of you could take alone. That is why separation is more serious than emotion. Because when a yoke is torn apart, it is not only a relationship that is wounded, it is assignment, momentum, fruit, territory that was supposed to be taken together. That is why the question is not only, do we still love each other? The deeper question is, what are we pulling toward? Because until a marriage finds its shared field, it can look functional and still feel strangely empty. That is what Jesus exposed with one word, syzygnemi. Not merely joined, harnessed. Not merely together, aligned. Not merely in love, under load, under purpose, under God. So declare this now, we are syzygnemi. We are not joined for comfort alone. We are yoked by God for purpose. We will not pull in separate directions. We will not waste strength on divided lives. We take the same burden. We move toward the same field. We break the same ground. What God has harnessed together will not be torn apart. Type, "We are one" in the comments. Because you were never joined just to stay together. You were joined to pull together.